This is the follow-up to a video I did yesterday on an exercise to help us feel like adults, since a lot of us here in the States anyway actually aren't. So feeling our feelings, something we really have trouble with here. I don't think there's 1 in 1,000 of us who can actually sit with an unpleasant feeling and understand where it comes from. We usually immediately rush to try to change other people so that we don't have to feel anxious or angry or sad or whatever it is. So that is a symptom not only of emotional dysregulation, but in many cases, when we do that habitually, when it becomes a style of life and part of our character, it's an indicator of emotional immaturity, and a lot of us suffer from it. So it's hard to sit with feelings. I did men's groups for 6 years. I've talked about them in other videos, anger management and things related to that. And many times when we had men actually sit with their anger, they would burst into tears right in the group. So one of the strange things about habitually angry men, or angry people in general, is that they actually have trouble feeling angry. They immediately enact it to blow off steam, to get relief. And it's hard for them to actually feel their feelings. So in groups, what we often talked about is the question of, do you have a feeling, or does the feeling have you? Because there's a clear psychological difference. If it has you, you're in kind of a state of emotional possession. It's riding you, and you're busy fiddling with something in the outer world, or trying to control people in order to feel better. And by the way, when we say that somebody's controlling, this is where that comes from. Somebody's got anxiety about something and they're trying to erase the situation so they feel better. Now, some things in the outer world do need to change. So, for instance, a government that provides weapons for another government to commit genocide, that absolutely has to change. That's just downright evil. So there are many things in the outer world that need to change. I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about how we try to, those of us who are dysregulated, those of us who don't know how to feel our feelings, immediately try to change our environment instead. So another exercise in adulting, and this one's difficult to do, but it's necessary. It's a necessary skill for adulthood psychologically, is when you feel upset about something, to go off by yourself and sit with it. And for some of us, talking it through with somebody else, could be a therapist, could be just somebody we trust, can be helpful because it helps us actually feel the feelings, which have their own momentum. Feelings take care of themselves. You notice that nobody stays happy all the time or joyful. The feeling eventually runs its course. And so sadness and anger and other feelings would do that too if we allowed them to. And that certainly doesn't mean expressing everything that we feel, because again, that's another power move, right? It's an attempt to change other people. Look how angry I am, in order to feel better about where we are. But adulting, to use that weird word, requires that we be able to tolerate and manage feelings that distress us. And then when you sit with them, they turn into a kind of psychological fuel or energy, and we can get things done with them, but not while we're reactive. So try it and see.